So to find the limit of the secant of pi x over 3 as x approaches 2, we can do a direct substitution in here. We'll try that first. So limit as x approaches 2 of the secant of pi times 2 is just 2 pi over 3. And 2 pi over 3 is on the unit circle. So we know we can rely on our unit circle here to help us. So here's our unit circle. And we know that this is 0, and this is pi over 2. And then we're clustered in the middle with pi over 6, pi over 4, and pi over 3. So 2 pi over 3 has to be over here. Okay? And so those locations, if we would draw a right triangle inside our unit circle, this would be a half. That's the short leg. This is the long leg, so this has to be root 3 over 2. And so coming over to this side then, we know that this ordered pair is going to be minus a half because we're going left along the axis, and positive root 3 over 2. Okay, so the secant then is the reciprocal of the sine. So what we're looking at is, excuse me, reciprocal of the cosine. So secant of 2 pi over 3 is the same as 1 over the cosine of 2 pi over 3. And I know cosine and sine values better. So the cosine of 2 pi over 3 is the x coordinate here. So this is cosine, and this is sine. So we have then 1 over negative 1/2, which would be then negative 2 for the limit. So the limit as x approaches 2 of the secant of pi x over 3 equals negative 2. So that's how you can use the unit circle to figure that out. If we wanted to use our calculator here to figure this out, we don't have a secant button. We only have a sine, cosine, and tangent button. So first thing we want to do is, since we are dealing with a trig function, we want to make sure that we are in radian mode, and I am in radian mode here, so that's good. And then I want to go in. Now I can go ahead. If the limit is basically the y value, right? When we talk about limits, we're talking about a language for describing how the outputs, in other words, the y values of a function behave as the inputs approach some value. So we're going to approach 2. So I'm going to literally plug in this step into my calculator. I could also graph it, but plugging this in is easier. So I'm going to plug in 1 divided by the quantity cosine 2 pi divided by 3, and that should give me my answer. And that is negative 2. So that's the way you can do it on your calculator when you don't have a secant button.